by surprise. While we were getting excited for the S650 Mustang to be officially shipping from Detroit, Ford came out and released a supercar Mustang. Hey guys, welcome to Red 50. Thank you for tuning into another video. If you're new to the channel, thank you for stopping by. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you miss out on future videos. So in today's video, we're going to be discussing everything about the Mustang GTD, which is not a typo or a misspelling for the Mustang GT. Yes, Ford officially announced a brand new name to the table, and that is going to be the Ford Mustang GTD, which is going to be a full-blown supercar competing against some of the German rivals and even some of the Italian rivals as well. So we're going to be talking about all the details, and we're also going to be talking about the pricing and just a couple of things that I want to mention that I noted during the reveal that could be a little concerning for Ford. Alright, so let's talk about the supercar Mustang. I mean, it's crazy. The Shelby has always been the top dog for the Mustang, but this year, or with the 7th-gen Mustang, Ford is doing completely something different. You know, we've got Dark Horse, no more renamed plates from the Boss 302, the Mach 1s, and the Shelbys. Ford wanted to do something different, and they did. They brought out Dark Horse. And now, for the first time ever, Ford is going to have a supercar, almost a mid-engine supercar, that is going to be called the Mustang. Alright, so if it's going to be competing with the German rivals, and it's going to be pretty pricey, what are we talking about? So we are going to have a 5.2-liter supercharged V8 engine making over 800 horsepower. The power is going to be coming through with an 8-speed dual-clutch transmission, which is not the same one that's in the GT5 motor, because that is the 7-speed. And the rumors are that it may be from the Corvette, which is the 8-speed dual-clutch transmission as well. I don't know if it's the exact same transmission. It has to be some sort of a modification to it for it to be able to handle 800 horsepower. Now, you may be wondering that the GT500 already has 760 horsepower, so what's the 40-ish horsepower going to do? And one extra speed in the dual clutch transmission. Is that really worth having a supercar Mustang title? Well, it's gonna have a full carbon tub transaxle transmission, which means the weight distribution is gonna be near 50-50. It's also gonna allow for it to basically run the Nürburgring under 7 seconds. That's what Ford is aiming for, which is gonna be absolutely nuts coming from a Mustang supercar. So like we said, Ford is going after the European market with the GT3 RS and all of those cars, the cars of those caliber, the AMG GT, which means it's also going to cost a pretty penny. Now, most of us were hoping that this would come around close to $100,000 or so, which would be still pretty expensive for a Mustang, but somewhat justifiable given all the features I just listed below. But honestly, the price on this bad boy is going to be $300,000. Yes, you heard me correctly, $300,000. For a Mustang, for a Mustang, yeah, yes, $300,000 for a Mustang, and just saying it out loud does not sit right with me. And I'm probably one of the biggest Mustang fans you can find. I love all Mustangs: the EcoBoost, the GT, the Shelbys, the Mach 1s, the Dark Horse, Mach-Es, all of them, right? And I would want Ford to compete with the big boys out there, but for it to be effective, I think $300K is a lot there, but obviously Ford has done the market research. They're going to be making only 1,500 to 2,000 quantity of these vehicles, which means they're guaranteed to be sold out with such low supply. The demand is going to be insane, and if you can even find it at MSRP, I don't think anyone's going to be selling it at $300,000 given the nature of this vehicle. It would be similar to the Ford GT that was announced. So Ford is definitely positioning this car as their halo car. And with the $300,000 price tag, it's kind of justified because, you know, if you want to have a halo car, you want it to kind of generate a lot of hype, you can't have a car that's worth $80,000, right? So it makes sense that Ford is pricing this for $300,000. But in my mind, the fact that it shares the same name as the Mustang could be problematic for Ford. Again, I have no doubt that Ford is going to sell these out very quickly just because of the limited supply. But it's crazy to me that we're talking about a Mustang, you know, a couple years ago, or, you know, not a couple years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, if you told that an SUV, an electric SUV at that, is going to be carrying Mustang's name, you probably would have laughed at it. And if someone also told you that, you know, in near future, you're going to have a supercar Mustang, you probably also would have laughed at it, right? Because we knew if Ford was ever going to have a top dog supercar level car, it's always going to be Ford GT. It happened in 2005 and 6. 2017, 18, they came back for like a few years or so. I think the Ford GT is discontinued now. So this aims to replace the Ford GT, and I think they didn't want to, you know, keep producing Ford GTs to kind of, you know, devalue them. So they're still going to hold their value. And now we have a new name on the block, and that's going to be the Mustang GTD. I feel that's going to take me time, because you think of Mustang GT, you think of the typical V8 Mustang, and then you have a GTD, which, you know, supercharged V8, all these stuff that you can expect from a supercar. So yeah, guys, there we have it. We have a $300,000 Mustang supercar, if you can call it a supercar. I would have liked it. I mean, there were rumors for it to be true mid-engine, which I feel like would have been pretty good for marketing and obviously chasing the numbers, because then, yes, it's using the Mustang name, but it's something completely different. You know, it's got a mid-engine, more of an exotic engine, you know, like not a typical engine from the GT500, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, is an amazing engine, but it still carries from a GT500. So it would have been nice to see that, and just exotic engine transmission options. Like maybe a hybrid V8, which I feel like would have been a perfect opportunity to get people used to the hybrid V8s, or just the hybrid world that's just ahead of us. I know Mustang buyers want their V8s, but, you know, inevitably there is going to be a hybrid Mustang very soon. Maybe an EV Mustang, full EV Mustang. So that would have been nice to kind of showcase the hybrid technology with the V8. So you still got the V8, but, you know, just showing what the future could hold with the hybrid technology. And that could basically trickle down to the regular Mustangs and, you know, sell that as well. But I think either way, I have to give it to Ford. I mean, they've done the research. I have to give it to Ford that for them to be able to put out a car in this market where everyone's shifting to EVs and chasing, you know, the fastest 0 to 60 because of the electric motors and everything, they're still, I mean, even to the regular S650 Mustang, they still have a V8, they still have a manual transmission. And instead of investing all that technology and going for, you know, a electric supercar or a hybrid supercar, they want to stick true to the car enthusiasts, and we're getting a Mustang GTD supercar with a 5.2 liter V8 supercharged engine making over 800 horsepower and a dual clutch transmission with all sorts of active aero, carbon fiber tub, near 50-50 weight distribution, and it's going to be running some insane amount of times at the Nürburgring. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment below, what do you think about the Mustang GTD? If you came across $300,000 and assuming the dealer is willing to sell it to you for MSRP, would you pull the trigger? Or I feel like if you had that kind of money, you would put it to where some of the better known names, such as, you know, the German competitors like the Porsche GT3 RS, or even something more exotic as opposed to a Mustang GTD for $300,000. Well, subscribe to Red 50 for more videos. I'll catch you in the next one.